Hello everyone, HisRoyalfatness here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing the brand new Tier 8 Premium French Auto-Loading Light Tank, the AMX 1390 Defender. Whew, what a mouthful. Anyways, this is a new premium tank that is just being placed into the stores at the time of me uploading this video, and I'm going to be making a review on it today to kind of explain its characteristics, its playstyle, what I think about the tank, and of course show you the 3 consecutive live games because that is just what I do. So, the 1390 Defender. Actually, disclaimer before that, I am by no means telling you to go out and buy a vehicle that I am reviewing. This is for educational purposes. If you don't have the tank and you're just interested to see what it's like, then this video is for you. If you have the tank and you want to know how to play it, then this video is for you. I'm just here to explain. This is the vehicle. Do I like it? Do I not like it? And I'm going to be brutally honest. If I think a tank is bad, I'm going to say it's bad, right? I'm not going to lie to you guys. So I get nothing out of this. So it's up to you to decide to buy this vehicle in the end. Nothing I say should force that upon you. So with that out of the way, let's jump right on into the characteristics of this vehicle. So 1390 Defender. It's like a lot of other French auto-loading light vehicles, except with a few caveats. So HP, it's whatever. Armor, non-existent. Concealment, good, I guess. DPM is eh. And of course you have a 12-second clip reload, a 1.7-second interclip. Now that is very nice, and you have 4 shells in the magazine. So it's sounding kind of spicy right now until you roll down and you realize, oh, you only have 160 alpha. So first gripe of the vehicle, it should be called the 1375 Defender, not the 1390, because 160 alpha is a 75mm alpha, not a 90mm. But you know, that doesn't matter. They can name it what they want, I guess. As for the tank, it has 205 base AP pen, and that is actually really good compared to this Tech Tree 1390, which only has 175. Yeah, 205 is a massive improvement. Now, I was talking about how the gun kind of seemed spicy until you realize it only has 160 alpha, and that's because in reality, except for the penetration, this gun is inferior to this Tech Tree 1390's gun in pretty much every way. So let me just break that down real quickly for you to understand. So this tank has 4 shells in the magazine, so more than the Tech Tree, cool. It has a 1.7-second interclip, way more than the Tech Tree, which has a 2.5-second interclip, but 160 alpha. So your total clip alpha damage is only 640, opposed to the Tech Tree version, which has 660. So you actually have more alpha damage in a clip for your standard 1390. Now you may say, well, it dumps its clip faster. Well, not really. It dumps individual shells faster, but you have more shells with less alpha. So in reality, it takes 5.1 seconds to dump an entire clip with this thing to do 640. Whereas it only takes 5 seconds to dump an entire clip with the Tech Tree 1390. So you get my point. Its gun is not really that much better. The only difference really is you get better pen, except that the Tech Tree version actually has much better on-the-movement accuracy, which was just recently buffed, by the way. This tank's on-the-gun dispersion is not all that great. So looking through the rest of the stats, you got 6 degrees of gun depression. That is checkmark average French light tank, 65 km/h top speed, checkmark average tier 8 French light tank, and you know, everything else. It is very much a French light tank. That's all I can say about it. So in terms of the vehicle characteristics, you have an idea of what it's like now. It has a decent pen, it has a lot of shots in the clip, and you know, it's slightly inferior in my opinion to the Tech Tree version overall, except for penetration. So what is this tank exactly? Well, I think this tank is trying to be both a 1390 and a 1357. To be honest, it feels like it's trying to be both of these tanks squeezed into one, and I don't think it really does a good job at either jobs, because the 1390, in my opinion, is better at being the tier 8 light tank versus this for the most part. The penetration is better on this tank. But if you want a fun auto-loading clipper that has a ton of shells in the magazine that's just a blast to run, 100% recommend this tank over this vehicle, the 1390 Defender. 1357 is just a blast. Bop, 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 bop. You're rolling around, you're clipping people. It's annoying. It's a little fun vehicle, whereas this tank is trying to do both. It's trying to be a sweaty light tank and a fun light tank at the same time. In my opinion, it doesn't really do either. So if you do not get the gist already of where I'm going, I don't see this tank being something that is necessarily an absolute must buy. In fact, I don't even see why you would necessarily want to buy this tank unless you're after a collectible type of vehicle. You like the cool model design, and it does look really cool. By the way, this LED light lights up in game and it looks amazing, the projector light. So if you want the cool looking tank, I guess if you want a tier 8 French premium tank that'll create extra credits, these are reasons why you might want to buy it. Otherwise, I would say just play your regular 1390, or if you have a 1357, go for that. So those are my opinions on the tank. So now let's jump into how to kind of play this vehicle. Well, big surprise, it is like all of these French tier 8 light tanks below us. It plays very much like every French tier 8 light tank, and that is the clip and dip playstyle. You find areas of opportunity, which is something I think I first mentioned 6 months ago in my Bat Chat video. Opportunistic vehicles, right? You find those moments of opportunity, you dump your tire clip, and then you run away and find another moment of opportunity to dump your clip and relocate. Similar to all of these other French light vehicles. So the playstyle is pretty straightforward, and we will demonstrate that through the live games today. Now, of course, here's the equipment. If anyone is interested, I personally prefer the vents on this vehicle because its penetration is decent enough for a tier 8 light tank, and I want to improve the accuracy a little bit. So I'm running vents on it. Otherwise, I think everything else doesn't really matter too much. So let's jump right on into those 3 consecutive live gameplay to show you how I play the vehicle and, of course, how the vehicle performs on average. Alright, so here we are. First game, we are on Normandy. This is not the best map for a vehicle like this because we don't have gun depression and we don't have armor, but it's a pretty big map, and because of that, we can be flexible here. So what I'm going to do at the start of this game is, they only have an RU-251 for light tanks, so I can actually contest an RU pretty well, especially if I can get a clip into him. So what I'm going to do is just kind of YOLO up the mid, but I'm not going to stick around in the mid. As you can see, my whole team's going up top. I'm just going to go here to try and figure out, well, where's the enemy team sending their tanks? You can see we spotted the I-6. There's the RU pushing in. He should hopefully provide me with a shot soon, so we're going to try and put 1 shell into him. Shell velocity not quite able to keep up with his tank there, and there's also a 252U YOLOing into us. So I've got the idea of where their team is. That's all of the information I needed. As for me, I'm getting out of here. Our whole team is camping up top here. There's really no reason for me to commit down low. I don't have the gun depression or the flexibility to work there. So what I'm going to do instead is try and spot up top. So you see the RU's gone down low, 252U, and I believe I6 are both over here. And my really goal this game is to try and figure out how I can farm damage without getting nuked by those TDs, because they have an ISU and they probably have a Jagdpanther as well that are sitting somewhere in their spawn. So I'm just going to kind of casually push around, so it doesn't appear to be tanks up there. And we're just going to keep pushing back. Now you can see we have found a Tiger 2, so that's 1 shot into the Tiger 2, 2 shells into the Tiger 2, we're going to put a 3rd shot into the Tiger 2, and we should be able to put a 4th shell into the Tiger 2. So able to get a 600 and I believe 40 alpha damage clip into him, which is good. The ISU is clearly pulling forward with the rest of his team, and this Tiger appears to be relatively isolated. Now there's a chance there's a Jagdpanther covering him, but to be honest, the Tiger 2 doesn't seem like the best of players. So we're just going to run into a wall here and then casually pull behind this Tiger. We're going to put 1 shell into him, we're going to put a 2nd shot into him, we're going to put a 3rd shell into him, taking his tracks off there, and we're going to put a 4th shot into him. So now this Tiger 2 is 1 clippable, but hopefully our T2020 will be able to pick up the kill there. As for me, I'm just going to kind of chill it out. I don't need to take extra damage here, and to be honest, I'm going to save my clip. There's really no reason for me to waste a shot there. Well, T2020 picks up the kill anyways. Okay, so score is 2-1. We have a RU-251 YOLOing into our spawn. He's going to go down pretty quickly. We don't know where the Jagdpanther is, but I have a feeling he probably would have pushed up with his team by now. And as for me, what I'm going to do is try to find that angle at which I can really be best useful. So I'm actually going to YOLO right over here. And that's because the entirety of the enemy team is kind of distracted. And for me, prioritizing tanks like this ISU-152 is so much more important. He's a much more dangerous target for my vehicle to deal with. So we're just going to do a quick drive-by, and then we're going to pull back over up top here. Looks like there's a Jagdpanther below us, but yeah, that doesn't really worry me. We're going to do another drive-by. So we're going to put... Oi, that was a bad shot. We're going to put 1 more shot into him. T2020 picks up the kill there, and we're just going to reload our clip once again. IS-6 is still alive. It's a miracle, and I don't know if he's... Wow, he's actually looking at me. Spectacular. Okay, I could not see if he was looking at me or not. So it looks like there's just a T-34 here, and yeah, I mean, this was your quintessential French light tank style gameplay where you just kind of pull behind and around the enemy team, find their exposed tanks, and oh my gosh, we got almost 1k clip at the fire there, and just clip them out. So we've done about 3,000 or more damage this game. Looks like there's just a Jagdpanther left. I'm not exactly sure where he is. Looks like he's ran away. So oh my gosh, I took way too much damage. So yeah, Jagdpanther's probably running back towards their spawn, I think. Yeah, so we're just gonna YOLO after him. I mean, this is where you just cruise around and I suppose admire the beauty of your light on this vehicle. Oh gosh, that's the Jagdpanther. So Jagdpanther is just chilling over here. We're going to try and take his tracks off. Unfortunately, that shot doesn't quite take his tracks off. I don't think he's able to spot me though. So we're gonna put 1, 2, 3, and we put 3 shells into him for 3,000 damage. He actually isn't able to spot me, and that's the great aspect of light tanks with a lot of concealment is, yeah, it's very hard for them to get spotted. So Jagdpanther is probably now going to be looking left, I would assume. So with this YOLO rush that I'm about to do right now, I'm going to YOLO from the right hand side because he's not going to expect me to be way over here, right? He's going to be looking the other way, and then easily you're able to get the kill, right? So not a bad game. We only got one kill, but we did about, I don't know how much damage with the fires. Yeah, 3,700 damage with the fires. It's an ace tanker. We profited 100,000 credits there. I don't know if that's with boosters or not, but pretty decent profit, pretty decent idea of what the tank is like. You just get to the side and rear vehicles and clip them out. And you saw how at the start of the game, I kind of just spotted things up at the beginning, but once I realized they were sending a lot of tanks to the mid, I didn't even bother staying there. There's really no point. You don't have the armor or gun depression on this vehicle to work a middle position like that. Maybe something like an FV301 would, because it has just enough armor and gun depression, but even then it's a better idea just to get out of that scenario and kind of relocate and find areas where you can clip the enemy for free, as we did that game. So here we are, second game, we are on Dead Rail. This is not a bad map for a light tank, and look at the lineup. The enemy team have a Black Bulldog, a T49. Now the I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm just going to say the M41 Bulldog, I guess, is a very strong vehicle. It has HEP rounds. You can rip me apart with that 320 alpha HEP rounds. T49, of course, is a massive derp. So these are not tanks I necessarily want to fight, but what I will do for the start of this game is just kind of spot up early and just figure out how aggressively they're going to be committing up this way. Now T49, hello dude. I can't say hello right now because I'm in a game, but I'll say hello in the video. So we're going to put one shot in towards this Bulldog. We're going to put two shells into the Bulldog. We're going to put a third shot into the Bulldog, and we're going to put a fourth shot for 640. Able to get a beautiful clip off there, but I'm not gonna lie, I have absolutely no idea what that Black Bulldog was doing there. So yeah, he's out of here. And it looks like the T49 is more occupied typing right now than pushing on me, which is great. That means I am not at risk of getting yelled at the moment, but I'm sure he is still somewhere in the vicinity. Now, looks like our T55A has not been spotted up yet. I wouldn't be surprised if the T49 is right back there, so that's going to be my goal. Let's find where this T49 is and hopefully get a clip on him. If not, then we can just pull behind the entirety of the enemy team. And it looks like that's going to be the situation. We can pull behind the enemy team and clip out tanks like this M103. Now, our camouflage should be good enough here where we won't get spotted by those vehicles over there, but whatever's on B potentially could spot us, so we'll have to be careful for that. In fact, I'm going to shoot whatever's on B because he's closer to me. He's more likely to spot me than any of the other vehicles, and of course, we have his rear, so we're going to put a nice 720 alpha clip into his rear. That was a very nice high roll on the clip there. And oh yeah, that's something I forgot to mention. Because you have 4 shells in the clip, if you hit every single shell starting from 1 through 4, your maximum crew skill almost always gets activated. So not that you always get to hit all of those shells, but if you do manage to hit those shells, your max roll crew skill perk will activate. And nice, another max roll. And that is a nice thing about having 4-shot autoloaders instead of 3, is you can always get that chance to max roll your 4 shell in the clip if you hit all of your shots. So other than that, we're just going to kind of chill around here. I'm going to focus this M103. Accidentally hit the STY1 there. Actually, you know what? Okay, M103 is now giving me more shots again, so we're going to keep trying to shoot towards him, pick up a quick kill on him. And here's where a tank like this is just absolutely annoying to the enemy team. They really can't do anything about me. I'm just going to keep chilling here and just clipping out their tanks that are in the open or unsuspecting, I guess. So T49 appears to be pushing back here. Now, I believe the shell velocity on this tank really isn't the best, so we get a nice max roll to the T49, get a second shell into him. We are now spotted, and the T49 is going to push straight into me, but he's going to get exposed to the Waffenträger. So Waffle should be able to put a shell into him very easily in just a moment. If not, we might take an HE from this T49. We do manage to get full pen there, but we at least managed to pick up a kill on him in return. So we've dealt easily 3,000 damage this game with the fires. Once again, a solid game for this vehicle of just kind of floating around and farming up damage off the enemy sides. 101 French tank gameplay kind of shenanigans. And yeah, so enemy team, yeah, they weren't the best players. I mean, yeah, I don't know, the Bulldog kind of YOLO'd and they left the whole flank open for me, so that was kind of an ideal situation to farm damage there, but definitely showed what the tank is capable of. Now, one thing I want to mention is, what tank would do this better that is a French light tank? Really not anything. I think a 1390 would have done pretty much just as well in most of those scenarios. I think even a 1357 would have done pretty much just as well in those scenarios. So just some food for thought if you're thinking about buying this vehicle. It's fun. I have like a 90% win rate in this thing for 40 games, but I don't think it's necessarily like an amazing go-to buy tank. So Just throwing that out there again because I want to make sure you understand this. So third and final game today, we are on Hellas. It is a tier 9 matchup once again. Enemy team have a T-54 and I believe a T-54 lightweight for their light vehicles. It is me and a lightweight and a standard B, and I think what I'm going to do here is we're going to spot up where their team is going and potentially run away if they're sending a lot of tanks over here, because they have a lot of fast, mediums, and heavy tanks. So I would not be surprised if the majority of their team come this way. So we're just going to chill out. Now here's the 54 lightweight. You can see he's chilling up in the mid. The 047 is coming this way. I don't know where the T-54 is, and our lightweight spotted no one as of yet. Now, the enemy's lightweight is being quite aggressive up down here. I'm going to see if there's any way for me to get the gun depression to start shooting him. So we're going to put 1 shell into him. We're going to put 2 shells into him. And that's just where having that awful gun depression is really painful on a tank like this. It makes it hard to get shots at even basic angles like this, whereas something like the German Bulldog easily would be able to get a shot off there. So we're going to just continue pulling forward here. Now you can see here's the 047. I'm going to start pressuring in towards his vehicle. This is going to use this rock as cover, and you can see there's a lightweight, and oh boy, that's a 704 and a T-54. So we're not going to want to take that fight. Now we're going to clip out this 047 as he is the one that's in the open, but yeah, we kind of overextended in towards the enemy spawn, so I'm not going to want to stick around here. Awful use of my clip there. Looks like the 704 is still in the vicinity, and what I'm going to do now is, okay, so the 704 is YOLOing for me. That's fine, because the 704 does not have the best traverse, so we're just going to casually kind of cruise around his tank here, and we're going to just dump a clip into his vehicle. So 1, 2, 3, and hopefully a kill shot. Managed to pick up the kill shot there, and then we're just going to float away. So I think something you'll want to notice there is I drove towards the 704 and not away from him. Well, that's because tanks like a 704 have abysmal traverse speeds, right? So if he's pulling up over that hill and I just cruise past his vehicle, I guess, really close to his tank where he doesn't have the gun depression to shoot me, you just easily get around the side. I've mentioned it in a few videos previously, but I always like to ingrain it. Hill gameplay is such a powerful way of countering slow vehicles, especially non-turreted tanks. So we're going to keep clipping out these tanks, hopefully. Not quite able to put a shot in towards those vehicles. My shooting this game definitely is not the most beautiful, but we're still doing okay. We still done about 1,300 damage here, and my team is winning this game pretty solid. So I think what I'm going to do here is just continue pressuring forward here to try and farm up some more damage, at least get to about 2k before this game is over. So L47's lower HP, he's not paying attention. We're going to put 1 shot into his tank, going to put 2 shots into his tank, take his tracks off there, 3 shots, and then hopefully 4 shots, and that is a nice 600 damage clip there. Just cruising around, being an annoying light tank. I don't think there's really much else to be said about this gameplay, except we're going to jump on the 54. Oh, we just missed jumping on the 54. Okay, so we're going to put 1 more shot in towards the T-54. We're going to put a 2nd shell into him, reload up the APCR here, and pick up the 3rd kill. And then, ta-da! That is your review / how to play / guide for the brand new AMX 1390 Defender. And I never want to say that name again. It's too long in my opinion. But in all reality, it's a pretty solid tank. You know, it's definitely capable. It's not like an extremely amazing vehicle, if I'm honest with you. And you know, you can take what you want, you can buy it if you want. This is just kind of an instructive video. So I hope you guys were able to learn a thing or two about what this vehicle is like, how to play this vehicle, or heck, even how to counter this vehicle if you've come this long through the video. So thank you everyone so much for watching today's video. Please feel free to like and subscribe for more content. You guys are awesome, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Crazy kitty. Come here.